All right, ready to dive in. We're tackling hybrid electric vehicles today.
Perfect timing, too. Everyone's talking about them, but most don't know the half of it.
You're right, lots of folks think it's a new thing, but we're going way back, unearthing those hidden stories.
Exactly. And that's where it gets juicy. Understanding why they flopped back in the day is the key to why they're winning now, right?
Okay, you piqued my interest. Hit me with it. What's the backstory?
Picture this. 1901. Ferdinand Porsche,
As in the Porsche.
the one and only, builds the loaner Porsche a hybrid. But get this, expensive, complicated, and the battery tech. Nowhere near ready for prime time.
Wow, ahead of its time, but way ahead.
Fast forward to the Prius, simpler, gas prices skyrocketing. Boom, timing is everything.
Amazing how one invention can have two totally different fates. You're right, timing is everything. So speaking of how they actually work, break it down for us. How do you combine gas and electric power?
So, there are a few ways, right? Think of parallel hybrids like teamwork. Electric motor gives you a boost, while the gas engine handles the heavy lifting. Honda's IMA system, that's a classic example.
Okay, so it's all about collaboration. I like it. What about when you want to go full electric, though?
Series hybrids to the rescue? The gas engine, basically it's just there to charge the battery. Ultimate range extender, get it?
Uh-huh, so you're always topped up.
Uh-huh.
Clever. Okay, last question before we go deeper. Tell me about regenerative braking. That still feels like magic to me.
Imagine this, your car battery getting a little recharge every time you hit the brakes.
Wait, what? For real?
Instead of wasting energy as heat, it captures it, sends it right back to the battery. Talk about efficiency.
Mind blown. Okay, before we get too futuristic, are we talking just cars here? Or are there other cool hybrids out there? Oh, there's way more than just cars. Think trucks hauling bigger loads with less fuel, buses making cities greener. Even motorcycles are getting in on the action.
Heck, there are even experimental hybrid airplanes in the works.
Hybrid airplanes. Now that's thinking outside the box. Got to reduce that carbon footprint everywhere we can. So is that what's driving the hybrid craze? Saving the planet? Saving some cash at the pump? Or is there more to it?
It's a mix, for sure. People are definitely more aware of their impact these days, want to lighten their footprint, you know? Plus, governments are sweetening the deal with some nice incentives. Makes a difference.
Okay, lay it on me. What kind of perks are we talking about here?
Think tax breaks for starters. Some places even let you zoom down the HOV lane solo. Oh, and free parking. Don't mind if I do.
Well, good for the planet, good for your wallet. Sign me up. But with all the electric car buzz these days, are hybrids just a stepping stone, a fad?
That's the million-dollar question. Some experts say, yeah, hybrids will fade as electric cars take over. Others say, hold on, hybrids are here to stay. Especially for those longer hauls, you know?
Makes sense. Those charging stations aren't everywhere yet. Kind of like choosing between a real book and an e-reader. Both have their pros and cons. What do you think? Are hybrids the future or just a blip on the radar?
Tough one. Electric is definitely having a moment, but until the whole charging thing gets sorted, hybrids will be in the game. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, right? Classic case of technology versus what people actually want.
Can't wait to see what happens. Speaking of interesting, you mentioned hybrid motorcycles earlier. I actually ride an e-bike sometimes. Kind of got me thinking.
You're way ahead of me. E-bikes are a perfect example of hybrid tech we use every day without even realizing it. That pedal assist. Human power meet electric boost. Beautiful, isn't it?
It's like having superpowers. I never thought of it like that before. So cool how this tech works on everything from bikes to planes.
Exactly. Talk about versatility. But let's pull back for a sec. We've talked tech, the environment, even money. What about the human side of this whole shift? How are governments around the world handling the move towards electric and hybrid vehicles?
Right. Some countries are all in on electric, others are taking it slow. Any interesting examples come to mind?
Well, Ireland's going all in, trying to say see you later to new gas-only cars by 2030.
Wow, that's bold. Ambitious, for sure. But I bet that's not going over well with everyone.
You said it. Car dealers are pushing back, big time. They're saying that goal of 1 million electric and hybrid cars on the road by 2030, not gonna happen.
Yeah, that's a huge EE jump. I mean, it's not just about the cars themselves, it's the whole system. Charging stations, factories, people even wrapping their heads around the change. Ireland's a fascinating case study, so much to untangle there.
For sure. It shows how tricky this whole transition is. You can't just snap your fingers and go all electric overnight. Speaking of which, maybe hybrids are the bridge we need. I think the article called it a compromise. Something about smaller gas engines and hybrids.
Right. I remember that. So instead of going totally cold turkey on gas, you ease into it with a smaller engine, like 1.6 liters or less.
Yeah, got it. Less reliance on gas, but still gives people that familiar option, kind of like dipping your toes in the electric pool before taking the plunge.
Love that analogy. So, as we wrap up our deep dive into the world of HEVs, what's the takeaway? What should our listeners be keeping in mind as they navigate this ever-changing car landscape?
Well, first off, you're now HEV experts. You know how they tick, why everyone's talking about them.
No more deer in the headlights.
Exactly. You're equipped to make a smart choice, whether it's hybrid, electric, or sticking with good old gas for now. No judgment here.
Knowledge is power. Love that.
Couldn't agree more. But it's bigger than just the practical stuff. Hopefully this deep dive got you thinking about the future of how we move around, right? Big changes are coming.
Yeah.
And understanding the tech, the environment, even the money part. It's all connected.
It's like a puzzle. And we gave everyone a few pieces today.
Exactly. And who knows, maybe you'll even drop some hybrid knowledge at your next party. Did you know Ferdinand Porsche built one back in 1901?
It's a great icebreaker. But in all seriousness, I think the biggest thing to remember is there's no right answer. Hybrid, electric, it all depends on your life, your priorities.
Could have said it better myself. Plus, who knows what cool inventions are just around the corner. This is just the beginning.
That's the exciting part. What's cutting edge today is old news tomorrow. The car world never sits still. Well, folks, that's a wrap on hybrid electric vehicles. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive. Keep those engines humming. And remember, the future of transportation, it's in your hands.